Thank you all for being here today. My name is Brian Kelly. I'm the Associate Athletic Director for Marketing Communications here at Boston University. And today's a great day, not only for our men's ice hockey program, but for our department and entire university. This program just celebrated its 100th season, honored our storied past, brought back the one and only dog jersey. Worked out pretty well at the Beanpot. Celebrated the lives of Jack Kelly and Travis Roy. Honored our first Olympic gold medalist. Dick Rodenheiser was here. Closed it out by honoring the coaching tree of Jack Parker. 66 of Coach Parker's players went on to coach at the high school, prep, college, or professional ranks. And we're proud to introduce one of them today as our 13th head coach. And yes, 13th, we're not going to skip over it like a hotel, you know. Sorry, Jack. Worked out pretty well. I think Benino helped that number, and we've had one ever since wearing it. Dylan, nice goal in the Beanpot. As we announced on Thursday, Jay Pandolfo taking over the helm here at BU. Burlington native, one of the best players to ever wear a BU jersey. And it should be mentioned he was a 4-year player. Enjoyed a decorated 15-year NHL playing career, during which he hoisted the Stanley Cup twice as a member of the New Jersey Devils. He's part of one of the many BU hockey families, as both him and his brother Mike played here. Mike arrived on campus 2 years after Jay's senior year, and they both served as captains. One of 3 sets of brothers in program history to achieve that honor. All 3 Mahars in the 70s, Terry, Rick, Tony. And the first? The Quins in 1960, Jim and Bill. As for Jay, Hockey East Player of the Year, ACHA First Team All-American, Hobie Baker, runner-up, national champion. List of honors goes on and on. Closed out his playing career back home with the Bruins. Spent 7 years in their front office, culminating in a 5-year stint as assistant coach. We were thrilled to welcome him back here to ComAv last summer as our associate head coach, and now he becomes the first BU head coach to have played in the NHL. Without further ado, let's kick off a new century of BU hockey by introducing our new head coach.
Grateful for this opportunity. I'm proud, humbled. This program means a lot to me. We're going to compete every single day to be the best we can be. If we do that, results are going to take care of themselves. It starts today.
Thank you, band. At this time, I'd like to introduce to the stage Assistant Vice President and Director of Athletics, Drew Marichello.
Welcome to everybody in attendance and everybody watching live. This is it's a great day for our program as we formally introduce Jay Pandolfo as our next men's ice hockey coach. I was at a meeting a couple weeks ago, and somebody asked me, what are the expectations for this program? And I paused for a little bit because I thought it was kind of a trick question. I said, you know, I know that the landscape of college athletics has changed greatly, and the landscape of college hockey has changed very dramatically, especially recently. Every school is essentially making investments, amenities, salaries, facilities. I said, but being on the outside of the NCAA tournament is simply not good enough for us. Losing in the first round of the NCAA tournament is not good enough for us. This is a program that's defined by Frozen Four appearances and national championships. And that continues to be our goal. I think that's lofty, and it's difficult, but it's very attainable, and it remains an expectation. When we decided that a change was in order for our program, it was our intent to set out on a national search. We had targeted May 1st as our date of appointment. I can tell you that the search was concluded before that. We simply had some administrative items to attend to. Here we are. One of the first meetings that I had when we knew we'd be looking for a new coach was with our leadership group of our team, led by our captain, Dominic Finsori. Group consisted of 6 others on the team. I wanted to hear their thoughts. I wanted to hear their thoughts about college hockey. I wanted to hear their thoughts about coaches that they could speak positively for, coaches that they might not speak so positively about, what worked, what didn't. And I certainly knew their affection for Jay, but I told them we were going to conduct a national search and told them of our planned timeline. And they said, speaking on behalf of the team, do what you need to do. We're not leaving. We're committed to this program. We know that you're going to find somebody great, and we know that there's going to be a lot of interest in this job, but we're not going into the transfer portal, and we're not signing contracts. We're committed. I told a fellow AD of that conversation, and he said, you have a remarkable group of kids. And I said, we do. So I thank you guys for your leadership, your patience, your input, and I appreciate that you stayed. During this period, I asked Jay to essentially act as our head coach. He was the associate coach, run the program, make decisions, meet with the kids, monitor morale, have tough conversations with the guys. Most know that the hockey world convenes in Naples in April, and I use that week and place as a forum to have multiple conversations with candidates and about candidates. Jay was also in Naples at that time. He sat with the Hockey East head coaches. He was in the joint meetings with the athletic directors. We prepared for those meetings together as if he was a head coach. We talked about institutional positions and how we were going to vote, what the bylaws were. I'll say that I think it was great for me to see him in this setting and in this role, and I think it was good for him to be in this setting and in this role. I think he handled that interim assignment great. I'd say the only time that he appeared to display any stress was when he told me his family was going to go, and I told him, that's great, just know that the ADs walk by the swimming pool at the end of every day, and we can tell which coaches run a disciplined, structured program based on how their kids behave in the swimming pool. So you guys did great. We lured him away from the Bruins last year very simply because we thought we were going to have a really good team and we had a chance to acquire a really good coach. And I think some of the reasons that he left the Bruins speak to the special nature of college hockey and to the specialness of him as a person. When I talked to multiple people, these common threads and themes emerged about Jay. He's a great human being with tremendous integrity, one of the most consistent people I've ever been around. He knows how to win. He's a great teacher of the game. He's unselfish. This is a quote. We won 2 Stanley Cups because of guys like him. Great character and team-first mentality. He understands roles of all team members and respects what all players can do, not just superstars. I won't directly betray the source of that quote. I'll just say he's one of the greatest hockey executives who ever lived. It's pretty high praise for you. He hasn't failed at anything. He's a leader. He's been a winner his entire life. Our talks also yielded, I think, fruitful thoughts on how to build a team. We talked about roster construction and not just talent acquisition. Talked about team composition. I love his development background and the attention he puts into this area because it's about developing players. It's not just about replacing players. Get them better. I look at different teams across the country, and I just look at how they're made up. They're comprised. How do they put teams together? I think there are a couple of Hockey East schools who've done a wonderful job of putting this puzzle together, constructing a team. We can do the same thing. Jay said the guys may leave and sign. We understand that. But we're going to recruit guys who BU means something to them. It's not just a stopover. Pointed out he could have left after 3 years, and one of the best decisions he made hockey-wise was to stay for the 4th. I had conversations with a lot of our hockey alums. They're very important to this program. And one of the most deep conversations, or one of the most profound conversations, was with Jacques Joubert, who was captain of a pretty good team. And Jacques talked about history versus tradition and the differences. History is what you did. It's defined by banners and displays and conversations and memories. Tradition's what you carry forward. It's derived from that history. You can't rely on history to win your games. It's not about pictures on the wall. It's about what are you known for? What's your identity? What do you carry forward from that history? It's about a mentality. It's about a work ethic. Are you hard to play against? What's your identity? What's it mean for you to put on a BU sweater? What's it mean to be a BU hockey player? What do other teams think about when they walk into a Agganis Arena? What are they in for that night? What are we known for? It can't just be about our history. It's about identity. At the same time, we recognize a rich, storied past. And we ignite tradition. We want guys in this program like Jay Pandolfo, and that starts with naming him as our leader. Jay Pandolfo.
Excuse me. I hope I get to keep that jersey. Jack never gave us that back in the day. Well, I certainly have a lot of thank yous. I would not be standing up here without a ton of support. First off, I want to thank President Bob Brown and Drew Marichello for this opportunity and believing in me. This program means a lot to me. I'm proud, I'm humbled. It's a privilege to be named head coach at Boston University. I also want to thank Brittany Kane, Brian Kelly, Kevin Edelson, and all the support staff in the athletic department for helping with this transition. I want to thank Jack Parker for his guidance and support throughout this process. It's been over 25 years since I played for Jack, and I'm still calling him, asking him for advice, and he's still coaching me. I want to have that same relationship with the players I coach. I want them to want to call me in 25 years and ask me for advice. I'm not sure I'll have the same great advice Jack does, but I still want you guys to call. Thanks, Coach. I want to thank David Quinn for helping me understand what this job truly entails. We talked a lot about, it's not just about forecheck or the power play. I told Quinny, I want to have a good power play. But this job, it's about so much more. It's about leadership. It's about character development. It's about education. It's about being a positive influence on the student athletes and in the BU community. I want to thank Albie O'Connell for bringing me back to BU and help me understand the ins and outs of the college game. And I appreciate his support throughout this process. I want to thank the former players and alumni who were pushing for me to get this job. And to me, that's what BU hockey's all about, being there for each other. And it doesn't end when you're done playing. It lasts a lifetime. And that's a tradition that Jack Parker built. And I want to keep that going moving forward. I want to make the former players proud of the way we play and compete every time we step on the ice and how we act off the ice. I was very fortunate to play most of my career with the New Jersey Devils. Talk about a first-class education and a team-first championship culture. And I got to live that every day. And I want to thank Lou Lamorella for that. And I want to bring that mindset to this program. I also want to thank the Boston Bruins organization, who have very similar values. I want to thank them for the opportunity they gave me in player development and coaching. I want to thank Don Sweeney, Bruce Cassidy, Joe Sacco, and Kevin Dean for their mentorship and helping guide me on my coaching path. I wouldn't be standing up here if it weren't for those guys. Most importantly, I want to thank my family. My wife, Julianne, who's the most compassionate, selfless person I know. I drive her nuts sometimes, but she's still always there for me. She does a great job of helping me keep things in perspective. I want to thank my kids, Sam, Liv, and Rowan. I know they're proud to be Terriers, right? And they can finally stop asking me, who's the new head coach at BU? I am. Finally, I want to thank my parents for teaching me good values and showing me what hard work looks like. I would not be standing up here without your example of what true character is. Thank you. Excuse me. The BU hockey program isn't broken. What we need to do is everything just a little bit better. BU hockey to me is about commitment, it's about attitude, attention to detail, holding ourselves and each other accountable, on and off the ice. We're going to have high expectations, so we have to have high standards. The central theme of this program is to compete at everything we do. Everything matters. It's not simply about the wins and the losses. It's about striving to be the best we can be day in and day out. We're going to buy into this mindset, and the results are going to take care of themselves. This group of players sitting here, they're all in. They've shown me that. They know what to expect from me and what I expect from them. We've got work to do. We've already started this process, and we're going to move this program forward together. Thank you.
This time we'll take a few questions from the media. Drew, Captain Dominic Bensori, and Jay will both be available afterwards here as well. Take some care of the phone.
Jay, just looking at when you came back from the Bruins last summer, what went into that decision? Did you always have the end goal of eventually becoming a coach?
Well, I think last summer, Albie had reached out to me, engaged my interest on it. It was a tough decision. I wouldn't have left the Bruins just for any job, but it was Boston University hockey, which means a lot to me. It took some convincing, but I just thought at the time, for me, it was the right move. If I ever did want to get into college hockey coaching, to be in and around it on a daily basis was going to help me moving forward.
Coach, you said in your statement that you hope your players have kind of the same takeaways from their time at BU as you did when you played. Just like, what do you kind of hope that they take from their experience playing under you in this program?
Well, BU for the 4 years of my life, it shaped me. Like it was important for me, and I want these guys to have that same experience. When I was here, we went to the Frozen Four times in a row. We won a national championship. Like those are the expectations that I have, and that's what it was for me when I was at BU, and I want these guys to have that same experience. And when they leave here, I want it to be the best, however many years they're here, the time of their life.
Coach, just last year being your first year behind the college bench, what are some of the biggest things you're going to take away that you learned in your first year to now being a head coach?
I think the biggest thing for me, and our guys know this, is playing as a team is the most important thing. I think nowadays more and more, you see a little bit more individual play. So that's the biggest thing for us, is to play as a team, and these guys understand that, and we got much better at it over the course of the season.
Coach, the game has changed so much since you were playing in terms of the transfer portal and NIL. Just how beneficial was it to have that last year coming from the Bruins to have that last year back in college hockey?
Yeah, it was really beneficial. It would be tough to step in from pro hockey and not knowing what's going on. There's a lot of different things that happen now in the game with the transfer portal, and guys, it's basically like college free agency. So I got to learn a little bit about that this year, and it definitely can be useful at times. So we'll manage that as we move forward.
Obviously, you had a very successful NHL career, and certainly a lot of guys sitting here want to do the same exact thing. So, what are some of those skills you feel like you can relay to them to help them succeed at that next level?
I think the biggest thing is learning how to play the right way. learning how to be consistent. I started in player development with the Bruins, so being part of their on-ice development and also their off-ice development, which is really important moving forward, getting these guys to mature and understand how hard it is to play at the next level and how consistent you have to be on a daily basis. So I think I can bring some of that to help these guys moving forward. I know it's their goal, every one of these guys sitting here, to someday to play in the National Hockey League, and I hope I can do the best I can to help them achieve that.
Coach, obviously with the coaching change over at Boston College, it's a new era with the rivalry over there with neither Coach York nor Coach Parker being behind the bench or playing. How do you hope to renew that rivalry with Coach Brown?
I hope it's going to be a great rivalry again. It was a lot of fun when I was here, and I know the guys, anytime it's a BCBU game, it's a big deal. So I think it'll take care of itself once we both get going here. Well, I'm just proud. I really am. This program, it means so much to me. All these players do as well. We created quite a bond this year, and we're excited to get this thing going. Thanks.